Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you are calling in from this morning. This is Coach Jerry, live and in person, and I want to welcome all of you to our very first global coaching call together. That's right. Can you hear the crowd cheering? I hear the crowd cheering. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is so exciting. I'm so thrilled to be on this call. I love doing this. I want to say hello to all of the incredible VPs that I have the honor and privilege of working with. And I want to say hello to all of you that have tuned into this call live and those of you that might be listening to the recording. This is really, really exciting. And, you know, we open this first call up to everybody in your VPs, teams, and regions and nations, because we want all of you to get a feel for what we do together weekly. You know, these calls are designed to encourage you. They're designed to inspire you. They're designed to maybe tweak some things a little bit to help you grow. But my objective on these calls is to teach you something that you can utilize in your life and business and get off of this call better than you got on it. And that's the purpose of this call. And we do this first call as an all-team coaching call because, as I said, we want to get people to get the experience of what we do. And there might be some of you after this call today that will get off the call and go, man, that was awesome. I want to do this every month. And you are going to have a chance to get on these calls again in both October and in November. But the only difference with those two calls is it's a call that you're going to have to earn to be on. And so you say, well, how am I going to earn these future calls? Well, all you have to do to earn our calls in October and in November is you've got to go out and do your $2,500 building block. Now, that $2,500 brick is kind of the foundation of how you start to grow your business. It's making sure that you're doing what you need to do personally, and as you teach others to do the same thing, then all of a sudden business starts to move and grow. So any of you on this call, listening to this call, that hits your $2,500 brick in the month of September, then you will earn a spot on our team call that we will be doing in October. It's as simple as that. And so I believe we could have everybody back on that call if we get after it and do the work and make it happen. So that's what we're going to do for October and November. Before today, we got everybody here with us, and I just want to pour into you some thoughts and some ideas that I have, things that I have shared with my other VP groups and their teams that have really, really helped the people on that team. And, you know, as we go about and I start to share things with you, you know, one of the things that I always tell people is two things that I always say over and over and over again. Number one, repetition is the mother of learning. You know, we cannot shy away from the repetition of things that we teach and things that we train and listen to. It takes the average person 6 times hearing the same thing for them to retain 60% of that information. So repetition is a very important part of learning. And the second thing is something that one of the greatest coaches of all time has said, which is John Wooden. And John Wooden always said, great coaches remind their players of things that they already know. And see, so today, the things I'm going to share with you are not necessarily new concepts and new ideas, but they're a reminder of things that you already know. But sometimes we forget to do the things that we know. And so we do need to be reminded. We do need to have that light bulb moment where we go, oh, yeah, you know, I forgot about that. Or, oh, yeah, I haven't really done that. And so we're going to just give you some reminders of things you know, but I hope that as we unpack this call today, that you will have some insight into the ways of how your mind works and just a couple of little things that you can do differently that will actually help you grow your business faster. So let's start out with the first topic we're going to discuss today, which is the holiday line. So, you know, we are in the last quarter of the year. And anyone that's been around for any length of time, your VPs will all tell you the last quarter is always the best quarter. It's always the time where business flies and things are happening and things are moving. When I was building my own network marketing company for almost 17 years, the last quarter of the year was the best quarter. And, you know, you come out with this holiday line. It's an exciting line. Every year, everyone always looks forward to the holiday line because it's something new, it's something different, and it's something that gives you a chance to reconnect with old clients and get new clients and use that as a marketing tool. But every single year, what I see as we do this is that when the holiday line comes out, everyone is excited about going out there and selling the holiday line. Now, that is part of what we do. It's to go out and sell the products that we have in our arsenal. But, you know, I've always taught people that there's two sides to our business. And I've used this analogy before, but it's an analogy that somehow sticks with people. And I want to explain this analogy so you understand what I'm going to teach you in just a minute. But, you know, let's say that we're going to go out, you know, kayaking or canoeing or something of that nature. And we have two oars, okay? And you and I both know that if we put the two oars in the water and we're rowing that kayak or canoe or whatever we're in with both oars in the water, it kind of takes the pressure off of the shoulders by spreading it out over both our arms, and it allows our little boat or kayak or canoe to just kind of move a little bit faster. But we also know that if we tried to row that with just one oar in the water, we wouldn't get very far, right? Our arms would tire out way too fast because it wasn't designed to row with one arm. It was designed to row with two. And see, that's how I see our business. You see, in our business, we're handed two oars. One oar is your business builder oar. One oar is your volume oar, your sales. The other oar is your business builder oar. And see, in order for you to really build a stable business, you need to have both oars in the water all at the same time. Because when you have both oars in the water at the same time, sales will end up leading you to business builders, and business builders will end up leading you to sales. It's just how the circle works in network marketing. But see, what most people do, what I see most people do, is they have that volume oar in the water all the time. In fact, the volume oar hardly ever leaves the water. But the business builder oar is not in the water all the time. And the way that I see people building their business, I saw people in my own business doing this, is they just row their boat with one oar in the water, their volume oar. And they're out there focusing on, man, we're going to go out and sell products and do great things. And they're out there selling and selling. And then sooner or later, that arm starts to get a little bit tired. You start running out of people to talk to. You're going, oh, man, I don't have enough people to sell. I've talked to everybody. What do I do now? And then your mind goes, oh, wait a minute. You've got this business builder oar you haven't even utilized yet. And so now you put the business builder oar in the water. And now you're rowing together, and your little R-bomb boat's moving a little bit faster. And you go out and you sponsor someone, and you're all excited. And you sit down and show them what you're going to be doing and what they're going to do, and they're fired up. And then all of a sudden, 3 days later, you can't find them again. They don't return your calls. You don't know what happened to them. And then you get discouraged and you go, oh, man, well, that stinks. And then what do? We take that business builder oar out of the water and we go back to the selling oar and we go back to sales and we sell until we get tired. And then we put the business builder oar back in the water when we need it, and maybe we find one or two people, and once we find those one or two people that are fired up, pumped up, I've got my next VP, I've got my next champion, what do? We take the business builder oar out of the water. We keep that volume oar in, but that business builder oar is out because now we found our two people. And eventually something happens to one of them, life happens to the other, now we've got nobody on our team. Uh-oh, what do we do now? Got to put it back in the water. And that's how I see people building their business all the time. That business builder oar is in the water every once in a while. The volume oar is in there all the time. But in order to really build a stable business that's going to move, you've got to have both oars in the water at the same time. I have said this before, and I believe this with everything in me. We have to become builders of people, not just sellers of products. You know, you don't sell your way to VP. You build your way to VP. And as you build, the sales will come. It's a byproduct of building. And so when the holiday line comes out, we get all fired up about it, because we've got another new product to talk about, another new thing to go out and share with people, which is fantastic. But see, I trained my team to have a different kind of mindset. I wanted my team to always have a builder's mindset, not just a seller's mindset. Because my mentality is if we go out and share the products with the right people, well, guess what? We're going to sell products. But I understood that if they're going to get to the next level and beyond, they also had to be thinking about building. And so I wanted to make sure that we used the products to be able to go out there and build a business. So this was the mindset that I taught my team. And this is the mindset that I want to teach you today. When you're going out with the when you're going out and you're marketing, whether it's the holiday line or it could be any product line that we have. But I'm just talking about the holiday line because it's the in thing right now. This is what my mindset was going out to do this, is how can I get people excited enough about this product line that they have an interest in joining my team and going out and marketing these products together with the people in their sphere of influence. See, that was my mindset. That is a builder's mindset. How do I take these products and get people excited enough about them that they have an interest in joining my team and going out and marketing these products together to the people in their sphere of influence? See, I'm always constantly thinking of how to build. How can I use the holiday line to build, not just sell? How can I use the Genius Ultra to build my team, not just sell the product? And I think that that's one thing that we're missing in our business, is that we're too focused on the sales that we almost forget about the building part of the business, and yet the building part of the business is really the most important part of the business. It's always about going out there and offering people the chance. You know, you can't control what people are going to say. You can't control who's going to join you or who's not. We have got zero control over that. But what we do have control over is, are we sharing this with everyone we talk to? Do we have the mindset of a builder, not just a seller? Do we have both oars in the water, or do we only have one in the water? And I just want to encourage you today that as when you get off this call, to really just get that question in your mind as you go out to talk about the holiday line or any product line. How can I use these products to get people excited enough to consider being part of my team so we can go out and market these products together to the people that they know in their sphere of influence? I really, truly believe that when you start shifting your mind that way, and you start putting both oars in the water, always moving and understanding that sales will lead to discussions about building and building will lead to sales, that the more you do that, the more you put the business in the forefront as well as the products, the more you're going to start moving your machine. Because let me tell you something, the only thing that stops people most of the time from promoting faster is a lack of people on their team. If we had more people on our team, then we would have more volume that would come. And more volume means that we would move our business forward a lot faster. So I want to encourage you on the first part of today's call to always be thinking in a builder's mindset. Not just how I can use these products to sell and create volume, but how can I use these products to excite people to want to be part of my team and go out and do this together. And if you just have that thought process, you'll end up talking about the business much more, and you'll have a greater chance of actually getting people involved on your team. So that's the first thought I want to share with you today, just a little mindset tweak that I really believe can help you in your business. The second thing I want to talk about is your system for success. Most of your VPs that I have the honor and privilege of working with already know this about me. I do not train on systems. The reason I don't train on systems is it's not my place to do that. Your systems are taught by your VPs. But I want to talk about this for a minute because as I coach people, I see certain things that happen that I really think we need to be made aware of and understand wholeheartedly. You know, being a VP in my own business, I understand what all your VPs go through when they're building a business, all the things that some of you will go through when you build your business. You know, we're dealing with people. We've got all sorts of different personalities, and we have to learn how to work with people collectively. But see, the thing that I want to explain to you so that you understand this is the fundamentals of network marketing, the fundamentals that it takes to build a business are exactly the same in Arbonne as they are in any other network marketing company you look at. You know, you have people, and I've known people in my business career that, you know, have worked with multiple network marketing companies, you know, didn't have much success with any of them, always trying to find the right one. And yet what they fail to understand is that the fundamentals of building our business are identically the same no matter where you go. And when I look at this, I see there are 5 fundamentals in our business that we have to learn to get good at. Number 1 is we have to learn to get good at prospecting. We have to get good at learning how to meet new people. You know, we're in the people business. And your warm market, your family and friends and business associates, they are not going to be the ones to get you to VP. You know, everywhere I go, every city I travel to, I always have the VPs stand up during this section where I not only recognize them, but I want to use them to make a point to everybody else in the room. And I ask all the VPs, if you became a VP only with your warm market, and you never had to go outside of the people in your warm market, then I want you to stay standing. If you didn't, sit down. And every single city I go to, all the VPs sit down. I don't think I've had one VP in any city I've gone to in 2 years continue to stand. That doesn't mean there isn't somebody, but the majority is very, very small. The majority is people have not done that. The encouragement is that most of the VPs that are now VPs did not get there simply with their warm market. So they had to get good at learning how to meet new people, talk to new people, whether it's through their launches, whether it's out and about when you're doing your stuff. Well, the first fundamental of our business is prospecting and meeting people. The second fundamental of our business is learning how to properly set appointments. And you get all of that coaching, all of that training, all of those scripts from your VPs, teaching you how to set appointments. The third fundamental of our business is learning how to present. You know, you have to present one-on-ones. You have to learn how to present a group presentation. You have to learn how to do a Discover Arbonne. And once again, your VPs have all the presentations and all the trainings to teach you how to do all that stuff. The fourth fundamental of our business is closing. And you know, when you say closing, people just get this weird vibe in their being. You know, closing. Oh my God, because we have this negative connotation of what we think closing is. We think closing is pushy. We think closing is getting people to do things they can't do. Well, that is not what closing is. You know, our perception of closing sometimes comes from when we were younger. You know, I remember when I was a young kid, and my parents and I went to Hawaii. I must have been about maybe 10 years old. And we went to Hawaii, and we went to this timeshare presentation. And the timeshare presentation was, you know, an hour and a half, and they were giving something away. I forgot what they were giving away to go through it. But all I know is that's all my dad wanted. My dad wanted whatever they were giving away. But we had to go through the timeshare presentation, and we did. And I remember going back and sitting at this desk, and the guy who was kind of our tour guide started talking to my dad about all the different options that are available and the financing and all that stuff. And it all sounded great. But my dad was truly not in a financial position to take advantage of that. And so he was very honest with the guy and told him straight out, you know, this is great, and maybe at another time this would be a great idea, but right now financially we just cannot afford to do this. Well, the guy didn't hear that. So he kept on going and kept working numbers and kept doing stuff. And once again, my dad told him the same thing he said. We're just not in a place to do this right now. The guy didn't hear that. And he tried this and then did this different. And my dad was getting frustrated and told him, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but we're just not in a position to do this financially right now. So the guy says, okay, no problem. He says, I'll be right back. So the guy leaves. And here comes this big burly guy back with him. And even at 10 years old, it was obvious to me that this guy was the big gun. This guy was the closer. That if the guy who was there couldn't close us on doing the timeshare, well, now we're going to go get the big guns to try and really drive it home. And this guy sat down with my dad, same thing. And the two of them went back and forth. It seemed, you know, I'm 10 years old. It seemed like an hour. It was like 5 minutes until the guy got frustrated, realizing my dad wasn't going to do it, and he just stormed off and said, give them what they came here for, and that's that. And in my mind, see, I saw that experience, and I thought, man, if that is what sales is, I don't ever want to have anything to do with that in my lifetime. Now, I'm not saying that timeshare salespeople are bad. That's not what I'm saying. There are good ones out there. But we just had the one who made sales look terrible. And I grew up with this mindset that, man, I don't want to be in sales. I don't want to be that person. But then I realized that that's not what sales is. That's not what closing is. Closing is just leading people with the proper use of questions to a decision that is beneficial to them. See, all we're doing is we're giving information and leading people so that they can make a decision that's beneficial for them based on the information that we've shared. And so closing is not this horrible thing. It's actually a simple process when you know how to do it. But you've got to be good. You have to learn how to close. You have to learn how to close people to become clients. You have to learn how to close so people will be interested in joining your business. You have to learn how to close so that you can get people, involved in what you're doing. That's part of the fundamentals of the business. But once again, all of those things on how you learn that are provided to you by your VPs. And then the fifth fundamental is sponsoring. We have to learn how to get good at sponsoring. Sponsoring is the lifeblood of our business. See, and if you notice what I said as I'm explaining these 5 fundamentals, is that you have to learn how, you have to learn how, you have to learn how. Because most of us that come into this business called network marketing have never done network marketing before. We've never done all this stuff. So we have to learn how to do all the things we need to do to become successful. So my question to people when they joined is, do you still have the capacity to learn? And they would say yes. I said, do you still have the capacity to follow directions? And they would say yes. And I said, if you have the capacity to follow directions and you have the capacity to learn, then I can teach you how to build a business. Because all that we do in this business is learned. But those are the fundamentals. In my business, guess what? I had to learn the same 5 fundamentals to build my business. Now, your reach out methods, are different. Your reach out methods can be different depending on what you're doing in your team. Some people use the drop-offs as their reach out method. Some people use the healthy living as their reach out method. The systems are generally the same, but the reach out methods are different. But here's what happens. We come into the business and we're plugging things in, and then all of a sudden things aren't really working as well as we think they are. And we're getting frustrated. And our initial reaction is, well, let me go see what other people are doing. And we start going around and we're on Facebook and we're looking at this person here and that person here, and their business is blowing up and this is that, and must be my system and I'm going to change things. Well, I want to just tell you something right now. That is a mistake, and that is the wrong way to think. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the system is about being successful, and success comes from how many people are you plugging into the system that you're using. See, we all think that, this is why it's not working, because this system doesn't work. No, that's not true. That's not true. Success comes from how many people are you plugging into that system. See, if you look at somebody else and they're blowing up and you're thinking, well, wow, their system must be better than mine, not true. They're just plugging more people into theirs than you are. And if you plug as many people into yours as they do into theirs, you start having success. And we start looking all around. And we start wondering, well, maybe we should do something different. And I want to squash that thought right now. You see, your VPs became VPs for a reason. They did the things that they needed to do to get there. They have done what many of you are trying to do. And your VPs have a vested interest in you becoming successful. That's how network marketing works. When you succeed, they succeed. That's how it is. There is no reason and no benefit for any VP to teach their team things that don't work or that aren't going to help them become successful, because their success is based on other people's success. So they have a vested interest in helping you become successful, which is why they're always going to teach you things that work. And so many times we think, well, we've got a better way. Well, I can do this differently. Listen, don't reinvent the wheel. Roll the wheel that you've been given. Your VPs have worked very hard to get to the position that they're in. They would not be in the position that they're in if they did not know how to do what needed to be done. And now they know how to help all of you get to where you're going. And the VP is like the tour guide. This is how I explain it in my business. When I was building my business, I became a VP in my business as well. And the way I looked at it was this, is that I was walking through a field of landmines. And everywhere I turned, I kept stepping on a landmine and blowing myself up, right? And the landmines just represented all the mistakes that I made in the business. All the things I did wrong, all the things I said wrong, all the things I could have done better. Man, I made so many mistakes. They were like landmines going off everywhere I was going. But see, once I became a VP, I looked back on the field and I said, look, I'm going to go back and I'm going to cover up all those landmines. I'm going to cover up all those mistakes that I made so that when I take people through this field, they don't have to walk over the landmines. I can teach them how to walk around them because I've already went before them. I already made all the mistakes for them. I've already learned what needs to be done. So now I can teach them how to do what I did in a much faster and shorter period of time. And that's what your VPs have done. And the best thing that I can encourage all of you to do is to listen to your VPs, is to understand that they care about you, that they want to help you succeed, that they're going to do everything that they can to give you all the tools and all the things that you need to become successful. And you don't go looking around at what everybody else is doing and this person this and that person's that. You focus on your own process. You focus on your own system that your VPs have shared with you and understand that it's all about how many people are you plugging into your system. Because the more people you plug into it, the greater it works. See, we don't have a system issue. We have a lack of people issue. We're just not plugging enough people in. So the few that we're plugging in, we're getting frustrated because they're not doing much, and then we're trying to say, well, this doesn't work. That's not it. You have to understand and honor and respect the fact that your VPs have worked hard to learn what needed to be done to help you become successful. And if you just listen to what they're teaching you, if you just follow the things they're sharing with you, and you plug enough people into what you're doing, you will win. You will be successful. But you're not going to be successful if you're constantly looking around all over the place, changing everything you do every 5 minutes. You're not going to be successful if you're not coachable. If you're out there doing your own thing like the Lone Ranger, if you're trying to just do things on your own, you're not going to be successful because you can't duplicate that kind of process. That's why there's a process in place to follow so that you can duplicate it. And listen, I honor and respect your VPs because I know what it takes to be one. I know what it takes to get there. And I want all of you on this call to honor and respect the VPs that you have, to be grateful that they paid the price ahead of you so that they could teach you how to accomplish what they did in a faster period of time without having to get blown up on all the landmines and make all the mistakes. Follow the system and the process that your VPs have taught you. Learn it, master it, apply it, plug people into it, and success will come your way as well. I know that as I know that I'm breathing air. So follow your system for success because that's the key to you getting to the next level and beyond in this business. So that's the second thing I wanted to share with you today. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you today is this thought process of getting you to understand that every single one of you that is listening to this call deserves to win for your family. It is amazing to me and still shocking to me how many people I talk to on a weekly basis that just have this feeling in their gut that they're just not worthy of winning. You know, I hear people tell me things like, I don't feel worthy of being successful. I don't feel worthy of becoming a VP. I don't feel worthy of driving the Mercedes. I just don't feel worthy. We have this feeling inside our spirit that this is just not what we're supposed to do. We question ourselves. Did I make the right decision? You know, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, I mean, things are not going as well as I wanted them to. How long is it going to take? And we start going through these questions in our mind, and we start doubting whether we deserve to win or not. And I want to speak to all of you today about this because I know in my spirit that there is somebody that is listening to this right now that needs to hear this. I don't know who it is, but I know somebody does. Because so many times when we're in a business like this, and things aren't always going exactly the way that we had thought they would. You know, maybe you've been stuck at a promotion level longer than you expected to. Maybe you had earned a promotion level and then you lost it. All these things that happen on the road to success. And all of a sudden we start to doubt ourselves. We start to doubt whether we can. We start to doubt our belief. We start wondering if maybe this is not for us. And we start thinking to ourselves, you know what, I'm not even worthy of being successful or winning. And I want to tell all of you right now that every one of you that is listening to the sound of my voice is worthy of being successful. Every one of you hearing the sound of my voice deserves to win for you and your family. Every one of you that hearing the sound of my voice, you all have the potential inside of you to become an executive national vice president with this company. It doesn't matter whether you believe that yet or not, but that does not negate the fact that the potential to accomplish that is already inside of you. See, we were designed for greatness. We were designed for success, but we've been programmed for failure by the world that we live in, by our negative family and friends, by the news, by the media. We're programmed for failure even though we were designed and created for success. Every one of you on this call was fearfully and wonderfully made by your Creator. God does not create junk. And too many times we walk around with this attitude and this thought process of I'm not worthy. Listen to me loud and clear. You have the potential for greatness already inside you, whether you believe it or not. The only thing that's going to prevent your greatness from shining is your mindset. That is all that is going to stop you from winning. Because all the things that you need to do in this business, you can learn how to do them. Many of your VPs that are successful today had zero idea about network marketing when they joined. You know, we look at them today and we look at where they are, but we forget that at one time in their career, they were just a little district manager just like you, trying to figure out what to do. Wondering why did this person quit when they told me they wanted to win? You know, they were just like you. But they learned how to grow and they learned what they needed to learn. And you have to understand that the potential for greatness is in you, but your mindset is going to stop you from allowing that potential to grow. That's why I'm such a stickler on mindset, that what you think and what you speak will determine your destiny. We've got to guard our mindset every single day. We've got to guard the things that are coming against us. We've got to fill our minds with more positive things than the negative stuff that's trying to take us out. That's why you've got to be reading books every month. That's why you've got to be plugging into your team training calls every week. That's why you've got to go to your DAs whenever you have them. That's why you need to be listening to SoundClouds in your car, listening to Learn and Burns, reading Ion Arbon stories to build your belief in yourself. You've got to do what you need to do to keep your mindset in the game. But I want all of you to know right now, because I know that there are some people on this call who are probably broken right now. There are some people on this call who I know are probably wondering, what's happening? I want all of you to know something. You were all designed to be here for such a time as this. You are not here in Arbonne on accident. You are here in Arbonne for a purpose. And the purpose of why you're here is to help impact the lives of other people so that your life will be impacted as well. Zig Ziglar said it the best when he said, you help enough people become successful, you will become successful in the process. And I know that inside some people, when things get tough, we question ourselves. I want to encourage you, stop questioning yourself. We all go through ups and downs in the business. We all go through challenges in the business. You are not alone. If you were the only one that was going through these challenges, then we'd have a different conversation. We'd say, what's wrong with you? But we all go through that. We all have people that quit. We all have people that don't show up when they say they will. We all have people that don't buy when they told us they would. We all have people that, will join our business and look like a superstar, and then all of a sudden they're out. We all go through that. The road to VP is paved with that stuff. You are not alone. But do not let those things stop you from understanding your worth to yourself and your worth to your family. And if you have children on this call today, let me just tell you this. Our kids are growing up in a messed up world compared to what we grew up with when we were kids. There's a lot of problems out there, bullying and, drugs and all the stuff that they are exposed to today that we were never exposed to. At least I wasn't when I was a kid. And the one thing that I've learned in my life is that my son's self-worth in himself is going to be tied to the self-worth that I show him I have in myself. And if I don't work on building my self-worth and my value, then what chance does my son have to build his? We have to be the example that our children follow. We have to become the person we want our children to become. We've got to get out there, and we've got to start taking these tools and these strategies and these things that your VPs have done, and we need to go out there and start sharing it with the world. We need to stop treating Arbonne like a $79 hobby and start treating Arbonne like a multi-million-dollar global business. We've got to stop doing this, playing around with this thing, and we've got to get after it. We've got to make a decision once and for all that now is my time. This is my moment. This is my chance. This is my destiny. I may not ever get another chance like this in my lifetime, but I have this chance right now sitting in front of me. And yes, I know it's not always going to be easy. Yes, I know I'm going to have to change and grow and learn, but it is so worth it to do that when on the other end of that is the time and the freedom that you dream of for you and your family. I want you to write 3 words down on your paper, and I want you to recite this to yourself as many times a day as it takes you for you to start believing it. I want you to write, I am worthy. And I want you to start saying that every day, whether you believe it or not. You say, I am worthy. I am worthy of winning. I am worthy of being successful. I am worthy for accomplishing my dreams. I am worthy of giving my children the best life that I can. I am worthy of being able to provide for my family. I am worthy. And you start speaking it, and you start saying it, and sooner or later your mind picks up on it, and you will start believing it. Do not let the challenges of this business take away the fact that you were destined for greatness. You were destined to do something great with your life. Plug in to your VPs. Follow what they've taught you to do. Be willing to be a student. Learn what you need to learn. Stop being the Lone Ranger trying to figure it out yourself when it's already been done. And go out there and share this incredible business with people. People need this right now. Not everybody's going to want it, but that doesn't negate the fact that they need it. And our job is just to let people know there is a different way. There is an option for them. And the right people will understand it and be part of your team. And you will begin to grow in the greatness that you have inside of you. I believe in each and every one of you. I am grateful to all of you because of what I get to do in helping inspire and train you. I get to live my dream. What I'm doing has been my dream since I was a child, was just to impact people's lives, to take what God has put in me and let that light shine through me, to be able to allow those things to help people and get people's minds working. And if one person on this call today is fired up and jacked up and pumped up and motivated and inspired and said, man, that was for me, then my job has been done. And if more than one person's fired up, then that's what I call a blessing. And my hope and prayer today is that this call was a blessing to all of you. And I encourage you to go out this month, make things happen, hit your $2,500 building block, and earn your spot on our call next month, where we're going to get back together and share another inspiring and encouraging message with you so that I can try to help all of you become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Thank you for being on this call. I love and appreciate every single one of you. To our VPs, I will be posting this on our Facebook page, and this call is a call you can send to your entire organization. Send it out, listen to it over and over. Let's get our mindset going, and let's go out and let's build the business of our dreams, because you are worth it. Love you guys, and talk to you next month.